Hey everyone, Shawn Carey with Migration Productions, and welcome back to Exploring the Natural World. Going to do something a little bit different here today, I think. And we're going to take a look at two species of birds, gallinules. We're going to look at the Purple Gallinule and the Common Gallinule, and I am here at the State College of Florida, right on the edge of Venice, Florida. And if you are familiar with the Venice Rookery, it's just down the road on State Route 41, which is maybe a minute drive here into the campus of this State College here. So the Venice Rookery just down the road. And this is a little hidden gem here. This pond that I'm sitting here in front of is probably, I don't know, 10, maybe 15 acre pond. It's pretty good size. And there's not a ton of birds here, but what is here is impressive and in many cases is very approachable. You know, with all the college students that are typically here, a lot of these birds I think have become very habituated and don't have any concern for people, for humans that are kind of walking around. They're used to them being here, so they're not threatened by your presence. And you can get right down nice and close to the water here. I've actually got probably a 6 or 7 foot alligator just off to my left here, sitting out almost every day I've been here. It's been out sunning himself, and there's been a second one that's been here occasionally. This habitat's perfect for gallinule. And again, there are both common and purple gallinule here. And there are other locations in this area where you can see both of those species, but I don't think the photography for those species is as good. And I'll give you an example. If you go up to the celery fields in Sarasota, right off of 75, you can see purple gallinule and common gallinule there. But the problem with most of the areas where you're seeing them and able to photograph, you're up high, particularly if you're on the boardwalks. Here you can get right down almost to water level, much better vantage point and view for these species. And in the morning, this is more, I think, of a morning shoot, although you could probably shoot it in the afternoon a little bit as well. But in the morning, there's this one section here that's nice and open. You can see nice light here in front of me, all these reeds. And boy, if you are lucky enough, let's say lucky enough, if you wait long enough, I think you'll get certainly the common gallinules here. They're more common. There's more of them here. I've had 2 purple gallinules, a juvenile and an adult bird in here the past several days, and the common gallinules, there's probably, I don't know, probably half a dozen pair or more, and they tend to like this area here. And I just had one out in front of me here, and I'm waiting for him to come back around the corner again. But boy, I've done really well here, and I think if you're a nature or wildlife photographer and you're interested in photographing that species and you're in this area of Florida, you definitely want to check this out. I rarely run into any other birders or photographers for that matter here, so this is really a great location. So I'm gonna, here we go, I'm gonna line up this. Oh, by the way, there's also a great blue heron nest up here, which I thought was kind of interesting. You also get anhinga here. You can sometimes get them, and you know, other herons and egrets, tricolor heron, little blue, snowy egret, pied-billed grebe. That's another one you can get. So I'm going to show you some photos and videos of each of those. Right now, I'm going to line up this common gallinule here. Wow! For that reflection, line up just the way you want it, with the head angle of the subject looking slightly back towards the camera. When you get that, that's when you want to hit the shutter. And when you get one of your subjects up on this, again, this root structure for this vegetation that's out here, that makes for a really nice photo, because once they come up on top of that, that's when you have the opportunity to see the feet of either of these gallinule species. And that's the thing that makes them really impressive, I think, to photograph, is to see how large those feet are. It's just so cool when they get up there. And so if you can get them with the foot up, or they're preening, or whatever it is that they're doing, you can see the feet on top of, again, some of this vegetation. That's going to make for a really interesting shot. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that, you know, when any of those species are out there. If you've got one swimming, but yet you have one up on this vegetation, you know, up above the water here, up on this root structure, I would almost certainly take that over the common gallinule in the water swimming. I just think that those opportunities are they don't come around as often as when these gallinules are swimming in the water. When they get up on that vegetation, that doesn't usually last for as long as you think it's going to. I mean, a couple of times it has, but for the most part, you want to take advantage of that when you can. Reposition yourself, get yourself in a good area, check your background, make sure your angle is good, and I think you're going to find you're going to end up with some very nice photos of them up on top of this root structure, this vegetation that you see here. So that would be one of the tips I'd pass along as far as that's concerned. This habitat is interesting. You know, this pond is probably, I don't know, 10 to 15 acres and probably a little closer to 15 acres if I were to guess. But most of the vegetation is, you know, just beyond these reeds is that area, that carpet of these pads, these lily pads. You have very limited amount of this open water that you see here in front of me. That's why I like to set up here. That's why I wanted to show you this first thing in the morning. You know, the parking lot is just to my right. You get out of your car, it's about a 1-minute walk to get here. Pick out a nice spot, again, get low to the ground. I think you have a very good chance of getting common gallinule, and you possibly could get purple gallinule here. Plus, as I said earlier, you can get pied-billed grebe, any other number of herons and egrets, and hingas, alligators. You know, there's palm warblers kicking around now, eastern phoebe. You really never know what you're going to get here, but come on out. You'll almost have the entire place to yourself. You know, if you were to walk this bike path, this walking path all the way around, which does a circle all the way around this pond, you're almost certainly going to see purple gallinule. I think you have a really good chance of seeing it. Whether you're going to photograph it out there or not, that's a different story, but you're almost certainly going to see them. Common gallinule, I think you have a really good chance of photographing them. Again, this is the spot you want to be. Really interesting place. So again, come on out. I think you're going to enjoy it. You might be able to add both of those species to your list of birds that you photograph. Plus, again, you never know whatever else you're going to get. And yeah, come on out. I think you're going to enjoy it. If you liked today's video, please hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos here on Exploring the Natural World. As always, remember, please help protect wildlife and help protect wild places. Cheers. Okay, we got a common gallinule calling right out there. Another one over here. Very cool. Okay, we got to find a purple gallinule.